All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I am Mad Statter today, and this is Chatter with Statter. It looks like we have got 3 whole people in the house, or maybe we've got 6 half people in the house, or maybe we've got 3 whole people in the house. We've got Darlene, we've got Mama Sean, we've got Terry. I do believe Terry was the first one here, though. I gotta scroll up to find that out. Yep, looks like Terry was the first one saying, "Hello, Gubna." Of course, that's not at all what Terry said, nor is that anything like what Terry sounds like. But for whatever reason, I decided to give him a horrible English accent, of which he is not English. And he's not Scottish either. But hey, Terry in Scotland, good to see you. We've got Darlene here, and we've got Mama Sean on that there YouTube side. I had a feeling we might have Rick in the house once Darlene showed up, and Rick is here as well. And let's see here. I think that's all. And, you know, that is fine and dandy like sour candy, because sometimes people have life. And when people have life, they need to go do it, because this online stuff, this is just for shits and giggles. This is just for when we've got downtime, fun time, and everything else is been taken care of. Okay, now that's not really the case for me, because I meant to get the fruitcake taken care of. We'll talk about that later, but that didn't happen yet. Anyway, so good to see all y'all, and it's 6 p.m. Arizona time, right around 5 p.m. West Coast time, 6 p.m. for those Arizona types. I'm gonna call it 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I might have to expand my little intro there. And let's see here. Or people get delayed. Sometimes happens to you. Exactly. And why did they get delayed? Because life was taking priority. And that is exactly what should be happening. So, you might not realize this, but you have actually witnessed something today that has maybe only ever happened one other time, maybe 2 other times in stream history. I'm not wearing black. Nope, I'm not wearing black. Instead, I'm wearing... It's blue. I'm going to call it steel blue. I don't really know what color I would call this. It's kind of navy, but not. There's more gray tone than navy. But anyway, it's a wonderful shirt that Malka Tumakai that Andre gifted me a long time ago. And I wear it quite often, actually. Despite the fact that all y'all have never seen me in it, I do wear it. But alas, it's not black, so I generally don't wear it on the stream. However, today I was busy doing things and stuff, and I didn't think I was going to be streaming. I'll talk about that in a minute. And so this just never got off my body in time for a wardrobe change for the stream, you see. Mama Sean, I wouldn't, in real life, it's coming off a lot bluer on stream than it is in real life. I feel like steel blue, it's very gray. It's really a dark gray. Right, hey YouTube, exactly. So be sure to adjust your screens to make it black. Otherwise, you guys won't know what it is you're looking at. You'll be like, I don't even know who this person is. What is this that she's wearing? So, Shock in the car, I think, listening, probably unable to see this blasphemy that is happening right in front of our very eyes. But we have the Honu. We have the Honu to, center us back. This really is... I don't have to blink twice to tell you I'm okay. We have the Honu. It is me. It is me, okay? It is me. All right, so now that we've got some folks here, let's get the party started, and then we will get back to the topic at hand. I don't know what the topic at hand's going to be. Let's find out. All right, stare into those deep green eyes, get hypnotized. She's wearing black. like she always is wearing. I'm wearing black. Look deep into my eyes. You'll see this is not black, but it's black. Anyway, Felicia's in the house. Hey, Felicia, good to see you. In the car on 95 South in the rain. Well, then drive safe. Don't be looking at the screen to see if I'm wearing black or not. Don't be looking at the screen to see if I'm wearing black. Look at the road. Will the naked sock puppets vouch for you? Well, actually, Trail Dust, I don't know if they can because they're half dressed. I mean, you know, they're wearing pants. See, they're wearing pants. They're not naked anymore. They're wearing pants. But without a shirt on, they can vouch. Yeah, it really is her. You can see my trunk. You can see my trunk. See? I think it's her. I'm pretty sure. I think. So I guess it looks like they vouched for me. And, all right. So I don't know. Could I put up some subtitles for us? Funny you should mention that, Terry, because part of the reason why I was running a little bit late to start the show was I was adding a subtitle to a picture. So ironically, yes, I could put up some subtitles for you, and it will be happening later on. You are a seeker, you are a seer of truths. Now, for those of you who don't understand, what? Last night we watched Yep. All right. Let's start again. Last night we watched a movie. The movie was called Moneyball. And by the way, you guys, it's a really good movie. Like, honestly, I know that we watch some movies more than once on Statterbuckets of Cinema, but we generally try not to. We will be watching that movie again. I do promise you. Not anytime soon, but we will be watching that movie again. I went to bed thinking about that movie, and when I think about the movie, that was a really good movie. It's a movie about baseball, not even a topic that I would care to think about. Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill, two people that don't really draw me to the box office. They don't keep me away, but they're not like, ooh, I gotta go see it. Oh my God, really, really good film based on a true story. Who knew? All the baseball people in the world knew, but whatever. Absolutely great. And no, I didn't grab the copy that you gave me, Terry, because I've got a copy. The copy that I've got a copy. I don't need another copy. I mean, I appreciate that, but anyway, that particular movie, for whatever reason, was showing subtitles, and it was a bit of a kerfuffle. And so Terry decided to grab one that didn't have subtitles, but whatever, we had to live with the subtitles, and some people turned out liking the subtitles, so subtitles were acceptable for last night. And it's acceptable for today too, because we're gonna have one tiny little subtitle. Just one though. And let's see here. Yeah, Trail Dust, sock puppets with pants, you're gone. I know, the allure of the naked sock puppets is just once they're dressed, what's the point? And let's see here. Oh no, that's so funny. Rick and Darlene have the first snow of the season, which is awesome. But Mama Sean, yeah, we're suffering. It's 75 degrees here this evening. We're suffering, says Mama Sean. I don't know how cold it is in Burien at the moment, but today was very warm. Today was in the mid 60s. So it was really quite a lovely day here in the Pacific Northwest. Not as lovely as 75, but if it was 75, I would have been freaking out because that is not normal weather for this time of year. Hopefully, we'll get a few more days of this 65 type degree weather to dry things out, because in the state of Washington, that's not true. In the Pacific Northwest, nope, that's not true. In the Puget Sound area, that's what I'm trying to say. In the Puget Sound area, right around Thanksgiving, we always get a really bad windstorm. And when the ground is saturated wet, like it is right now, it topples trees. So I'm hoping that we're not going to get too much rain between now and Thanksgiving to dry the air or the ground out. So when we get our windstorm, the trees will be more firmly rooted. And let's see here. Oh no, Darlene, trail dust. We had snow. Wait, hold on. I got confused. Okay, so Felicia, Darlene, snow. I developed an allergy due to overexposure. Stay warm. Brilliant, Felicia. Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, it's 75 degrees and it must be freezing because Dr. Steve is even wearing long pants. You know, actually though, as asinine as that sounds to me, I can totally see how that happens because I remember we had this really long stretch of hot weather in Seattle. And then when it dropped back down to the 70s, I found myself wearing my sweatshirt and long sleeves because it was cold. Are you kidding me? Never in my life did I think 75 would be cold. But at that point, it had gotten, it had gotten to where it seemed cold. And trail dust, though, had snow all day long. Ended up with about a cup and a half. Trail dust, less of a problem than it could be. Trail dust, did you mean a foot and a half, or did you mean a cup and a half? Because I'm going to guess you meant maybe a foot and a half. Because a cup and a half doesn't seem like a whole lot of snow. Like, even Seattle could handle a cup and a half worth of snow. Oh, okay, so it's just a pretty light snow. Oh, okay, so you did mean a cup and a half. Awesome. Well, it looks like we might have a kitty cat in the house. However, they do not want to be acknowledged or pet, so no ear scritches for Puzzy Cat. He's just listening. However, Puzzy Cat, I will tell you this. Mr. Leo has been making himself way more available in my house. I haven't seen him the last couple days, but that's because the last couple days have been nice, semi-warm for the time of year. But as soon as it gets all stormy and wet and windy and cold, he's been sleeping on my bed. He's been sleeping in my closet. He's been sleeping on the cat tower. He's been sleeping on the chair. He basically has decided that warmth is warm. And so, and he almost let me scratch his belly. In fact, he probably would have. But I made that mistake one time, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. And let's see here. If it snows too much here, says Rick, I could handle it with a cup and a half of whiskey. Well, I'll just tell you right now, I've got a cup and a half of some spiced rum that I'm planning on using later on tonight on the fruitcakes. And I've got my little space heater going, says Terry. And Puzzy Cat just has the best space heater. Kylo just landed on me in the bed. And let's see here. All right, so, looks like Rick, south of you in the East Coast is going to get the worst of it. 10 to 14 inches expected in Idaho. Definitely not what you want happening in your neck of the woods. And whoop, we've got Kenny from the Cove in the house. And I'm glad to see you, Kenny, because I don't know if you watched the repeat of the Wednesday stream, and I know that you weren't there live, but for those of you who already heard all of this, well, too bad you're going to hear it again. Kenny, oh my God, Kenny, holy flirking snit Kenny. Y'all, I know most of y'all know this, and I'm just going to repeat it until you all try it yourself. I'm going to keep repeating it. Probably not true, but this chili right here, he sent me one box. And I still have some in the freezer because it's, y'all, this is the best chili I've ever had in my life. In fact, I can honestly say, until I had this chili, I don't think I've ever had a proper bowl of chili in my life. This has reimagined for me what chili should be. And I am super stoked that he shared this with me. So, Kenny from the Cove, in case you didn't hear that part on Wednesday or didn't watch the Wednesday show, for real, dude, this was the best batch of chili I've ever had. Not only made in my life, had in my life. So I am super stoked, and honestly, I probably, if there's any way I can like throw you down $20 to go buy me a couple packs and then send them up to me, I would be super stoked, because obviously it's an HEB exclusive, and yeah, it's just wow, y'all, it is good stuff. And let's see here. Oh yes, and then for those of you, oh no, did I not do this? Oh, okay, and then, yeah, all right. Whew. Oh no, wait, what's going on? Okay, so Trail Dust has 26 degrees. That's cold. But what, Pussycat, it was, oh no. Pussycat, it was 79 degrees today, and it should be 39 degrees by Tuesday morning. Oh, dude, I'm sure you do, but you've got, and somebody asked, I hope you have a heater. And Pussycat, how come you didn't know that Carroll Shelby was one of the best race car drivers ever, and he made some awesome chili? Well, I just didn't. Okay, so Pussycat obviously was here on Wednesday for that conversation, or else he rewatched the show. So we were talking about, and I guess we're gonna again talk about, we've got various and assorted chili mixes on the market these days, and the one that Kenny gave me was one brand, but another brand that is available nationwide is Carroll Shelby. Now, I saw that it's available at my grocery store. I saw that. I did not make the connection. Like, I just saw Carroll Shelby's chili mix, and I was like, I don't know what, like, who's Carroll Shelby and why he got one chicken chili mix. I don't know if I trust that name brand the way I trust the Terlingua brand or whatever. I don't even, how do you say this? Terlingua, Terlingua, whatever. How could it possibly be better than that brand? And by the way, who the flying fork is this Carroll Shelby fella? Well, and why does he have his own chili? Well, it turns out people know who he is because he's famous. You know, the whole Shelby Mustang thing. Terlingua. Anyway, Carroll Shelby's chili mix is way easier to pronounce, but I don't know if I like it as much. And it has masa in the mix, so I don't really know if I need that. But I am curious to see what it's like. And so, only the greatest man to ever drive a Mustang. Right, and apparently he's one of the first people to decide to have a chili cook-off, which is why it makes sense that he would have his own brand of chili. And apparently he's from Texas, I guess, maybe, or something. Anyway, I will be trying his version of chili, if for no other reason than to see how you're supposed to put the masa in the chili. I'm a little unsure about when to include that, how to include that, the procedure for including it. Do you just sprinkle it on and stir it in? And how much do you use? I don't really know. So yeah, that is definitely a plan for the future of my chili. But I don't have to do that right now because I made the big batch and I put some of it in the freezer. So I still have some of the good stuff left. And I'm looking forward to making some cornbread for the remainder of the good stuff. Because before that, I just had chili, and then I made chili on top of some tater tots. That was really good. And then I had some chili with mac and cheese. That was really good. Basically, though, I mean, the chili was just so good. How do you not? Yeah, Darlene, exactly. See, well, actually, Kenny, to tell you the truth, and we can take this offline, but no, the reason why I was thinking about asking you to buy me a bunch, and then I would also pay for the postage because it's gonna, take a box, is because I want to send them out to people. Like, I want I don't know, I want to do a contest, I want to do a whatever. I wanted to, I wanted to spread the joy to all the folks who don't have an HEB. Because I'll tell you what right now, Texas is not where I want to be. But Texas has got a lot of things in it that I want to be at, like Buc-ee's and HEB. These are really awesome spots that I would love to experience, but I'd have to go to Texas for them. Yeah, I know you don't have to with Buc-ee's anymore, but let's just say you still got to go to Texas for Buc-ee's because Buc-ee's is Texas, okay? I don't care where else it is. It's Texas in Florida. It's Texas in wherever it's going to be. Isn't there going to be a Buc-ee's in Wisconsin? Or did I make that up, Darlene and Rick? And Pussycat, the secret ingredient for Carol Shelby's is the WD or the 10W30. Got it. And Darlene, you're excited. We are getting a Buc-ee's here. Awesome. Yeah, I would be really excited. Pussycat, yeah, I thought that you guys had Buc-ee's already in Florida. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, Kenny gonna be the chili spice dealer. Exactly. And Mama Sean, yes, at the end to thicken it up, you just sprinkle on and stir in. Okay. And let's see here, no, that's not Kenny from the Cove. Terry in Scotland says, I went to Terlingua on a geology field trip in the 80s. The year previously, the chili cook-off was crashed by the Banditos motorcycle gang. There was a hill of beer cans there that our geology professor climbed to get his picture taken. Oh, that's hysterical. Let's see here. And although I'm curious, what do you mean when you say that the Banditos crashed the chili cook-off, I wonder what does that mean? Does it mean that they just came in and didn't pay and just started eating all the chili? Because I could totally see that happening. But I didn't know, I didn't realize the chili cook-offs were necessarily private events, you know? And so how do you crash one? But I guess if you have to pay and then you don't pay, I guess that would be considered crashing one. And Mama Sean's going to get one in Arizona. And Pussycat's bragging that he can get Buc-ee's nuggets all the time. Honestly, to tell you the truth... Oh, hey, Mitchie Mama, good to see you. To tell you the truth, I don't want I don't want a Buc-ee's to be close enough to me that I have easy access to the Buc-ee's nuggets. Those flippin', flirpin', flying, forkin' things are probably going to be my downfall if I had them near me. I would eat them for breakfast and lunch and dinner. No, not dinner, but dessert every day. I'd eat them like cereal. Pussycat, I already know you know, right? You know, put them in a bowl of milk. Beaver nuggets in a bowl of milk is the most perfectest thing flippin' ever. And I don't need the most perfectest thing in my tummy ever, every day. It's not something... It's something I want in my tummy every day. I'm literally flipping, drooling, thinking about it. Terry, did I make my Spam fruitcake? Not yet. Not yet. I was going to earlier, but I realized that when I left all of my ingredients out on the counter last night to get to room temperature, so they would be easier to stir, I forgot to take into consideration that my house overnight gets to be about 58 degrees because I close off the heat and open my doors. So room temperature is not very warm at all. So my butter is still super hard and I can't whip it. So I have to get everything to room temperature by putting it near the stove with the stove being turned on low. So I'm gonna make it after the stream because I did have every intention of trying to make it before the stream so you guys could at least see it, even if it wasn't cooled off enough to try it. But that just isn't what happened at all. So yeah, no. But I've got everything. I've got all the fruits have soaked up all the liquid, all the booze. The fruits have soaked up all the booze-a-halls. And for those of you who weren't here last night, the ingredients are dates, golden raisins, regular raisins, dried cranberries, dried cherries, and pineapples. Plus, obviously, the candied Spam. The candied Spam has been candied. And then, of course, we've got the Captain Morgan's. So this is what the ingredients are. And I have to tell you, dude, the candied Spam is mighty good. And I think that this might actually work. Okay? I do actually think that it's crazy enough that it might actually work. And let's see here. If there was a Buc-ee's near Molly, they'd find her passed out in a ditch, clutching a bag of beaver nuggets, wearing her Buc-ee's t-shirt. I'm not going to argue that vision. And here's why I'm not going to argue that vision. I don't know how or where or who Buc-ee's gets their t-shirts made from, but those t-shirts are the most comfortable t-shirts I have ever put on my body. They fit really well, and they fit my broad-shouldered, wide neck very nicely. T-shirts don't come on my body nicely, right? It just, and then they feel weird. They're not the right, like some cotton is good, some cotton's not. Some cotton's too thick, some cotton's too stiff. This is like the softest cotton. I don't know who makes Buc-ee's t-shirts, or they've got the most comfy t-shirts ever. And so, is it possible that I could be Buc-ee's t-shirt in hand, Buc-ee's bag of Buc-ee nuggets in hand, passed out in a ditch? Probably not, but passed out in my car? Quite possibly. And Trail, that's exactly, every room is always room temperature. That is very true, but unfortunately when they say room temperature, they assume your room is more like 70 degrees. And wow, Pussycat, you're in the process of getting the biggest Buc-ee's in the world, even bigger than the one in Texas. Ooh, I'll bet you that pisses some people off in Texas. And yeah, let's see here. And then Darlene, yeah, they're sort of like the sugar pops, like Pussycat says. The beaver nuggets they're like Cheetos Puffs? Instead of regular Cheetos, the puff ones, they're sort of like that, only maybe about half the length. And then instead of being cheese flavored, they're sweet. And so they're sugary. They're kind of there's kind of a maple syrup essence to them. Just vague, syrupy essence. Oh, God, it's just delicious. It's just delicious. Hey, C Honda, good to see you. We're talking about a lot of things. We're talking about Buc-ee's. We're talking about beaver nuggets. We're talking about the cotton on t-shirts. We're talking about chili. So welcome in. We're talking about all sorts of things and stuff. And broad shoulders isn't the upper body sizing issue that you yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, it's the shoulders actually. And Trail Dust, you are exactly right. And Goldilocks said, this cotton is too thick and this cotton is too thin and this cotton is just right. Yep, welcome to me trying to find clothes that I like. And let's see here. So Pussycat, I can only assume it's like gonna be by like Daytona or something. Where's the biggest Buc-ee's gonna be roughly out near where in Florida is that big old Buc-ee's planning on being planted? I guess is what I'm asking. And let's see here. Oh yeah, and the Buc-ee's nuggets, they do have all sorts of flavors, but I think it's the original that I like the best. Just the plain simple originals. And they're delicious. They're basically sweet cheese puffs with no cheese. The one by me is larger in Daytona and the other one is in Ocala. The one by me is larger in Daytona, and the other one is in Ocala. Okay, okay. On I-75, right. Okay, that makes sense. Got it. Got it. All right, so we have discussed some incredibly important topics today. Things like, you know, Buc-ee's and chili. And let's see here. Okay, wait, the largest Buc-ee's in the world, right, is located in Luling, Texas. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that. And opened in 2024. 75,000 square feet, making it the largest convenience store globally and surpassing the previous record holder in Sierraville, Tennessee, which is 7,400 square feet. The Luling location is situated along I-10 and features 120 fuel pumps, a large convenience store, and the chain's renowned clean restrooms. There you go. Yours is on I-4 and I-95? Yours is on I-4. Okay. All right. Well, one thing I can, and see, I've never been to a Buc-ee's, but if I drive by one, I will certainly stop. Yeah, me too. And here's the deal. One of the reasons why I would totally stop, regardless of the, so it's the one in Ocala that'll be 1,000 feet bigger. So it'll be 76,000 or 75, whatever. All right. It'll be bigger. Got it. But see, Honda, yeah, one of the reasons why, if anybody who's ever driven on a cross-country road trip for multiple, through multiple states, you know that you have to eventually sort of figure out, where is safe to stop in the restrooms. And by safe, I don't mean like my physical safety. I mean, do I want to go in that restroom? Ugh. That's what I mean by safe to stop. And so, you get your little preferences. And as a general rule of thumb for me, McDonald's is usually fairly on the safe-ish side for bathrooms-ish. Denny's, no. So, you get to figure out, and like there's this one convenience store, I think it's the Pilot's. Pilot is where you want to go to. I mean, they've got okay restrooms, but if you want a good cup of coffee, you go to the Pilot store. Pilot's Coffee Wing, because by the way, when I say coffee wing, I mean, yeah, they've got a convenience store with an entire wing dedicated to coffee. And all the ways you might want or take your coffee, they've got it there. Cold brew, hot brew, drip over, pour over, espresso, from the carafe, from the, they've got everything. So Pilot is where you want to go for coffee. But Buc-ee's, they are known for clean restrooms. They are known for clean restrooms. So if I saw Buc-ee's, I would just be like, oh, heck to the yes. I am going to be stopping here because I'm not worried about my physical safety. I'm worried about my, am I going to have to tiptoe into the bathroom and hover kind of safety. I don't like that. And so, Mama Sean knows what I'm talking about. Target is where I would stop when I was doing social work stuff. Right. Once you're on the road, now that I think about it, it doesn't even have to be cross-country road trips. Literally, if you're on the road, you as a driver get to know, like, I will not stop. I will hold it for 3 states before I stop at that place. I will, there's a good one. That stuff. And the thing is, sometimes, on the highways and things, they've got rest stops. They're not always where you want to go to the bathroom because the rest stops aren't really, always cleaned regularly. At least not where I've seen. And so let's see here. Mama Sean, so we're downsizing and found a house, but I would have to see how much our landscaper is willing to pay for our property. He wants to keep it, so fingers crossed, please, for us. Oh, nice, dude. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I read this right. Landscaper is willing to... Oh, dude. Yes, I am hoping so, too, because it sounds like you guys have such a wonderfully landscaped yard in Arizona. It has such very distinct sort of eco temperature zones and things, and you've got so much wildlife that enjoys the water features that you have occasionally due to the rain that may or may not happen. And I have no doubt in my mind that your landscaper is very proud of the work that they did. If you had them do that work, I have no doubt that your landscaper is proud of that yard, that land. And so it doesn't surprise me that he might, or she, pardon me for assuming, that your landscaper might want to buy that land. I hope that that totally works out for you, dude. That would be awesome. I love it when a person buys a property. You know, once you sell your property, you have obviously no say in what gets done with that property. But I love it when the owner can continue the vision that was started by the original owner. So, yeah, that's super awesome. And let's see here. Pussycat, they have everything. The barbecue smells good when you walk. And they have a bakery. Okay. I don't understand what I'm reading. Y'all, I've seen so many videos on Buc-ee's. I thought I knew what Buc-ee's had to offer. I know that Buc-ee's has clothes. I know that Buc-ee's has kitschy kitchenware and things like that, and towels, and you know, and then the food, all of the food, the prepped food, the pre-prepped food, the prepared food, the hot food, the packaged food. They've got it all. I didn't know that they had furniture. Pussycat is saying that they even sell furniture. And I'm going to assume he means more than just a folding chair. A folding camp chair sounds exactly like something that Buc-ee's would sell. I'm thinking that he doesn't mean that when he says furniture. Furniture? Puzzy, can you expand upon the furniture situation? And cuz what? Oh no, see, and Trail Dust coming in with a scary scariness. Years ago, coming home from Dad's in Arkansas, I stopped by a dimly lit place, 5:30 in the morning, and the lights went out while I was, you know. Yeah, see, no. That sounds awful. And you think he wants it for extra buildings in the back too, not to stereotype, but he's a big Hispanic dude. Oh yeah, well, no, I mean, first off, how is that stereotyping? You live in Arizona. Arizona used to belong to Mexico, so it's like, come on. That's how that works. A Lazy Boy. Oh my God. Lazy Boy is sold in Buc-ee's. That is amazing. That is unheard of. That is confusing. And I didn't know that I had another reason to go visit a Buc-ee's, and yet here now I do. I have to go check out their Lazy Boy selection. Because I'll tell you what, I'm a fan of Lazy Boy. I have a Lazy Boy Ottoman. I have a Lazy Boy recliner. I love my little Lazy Boys. In fact, my Lazy Boy recliner can flatten out almost completely flat to act as a bed. And yeah, I'm a big fan of Lazy Boys. And if I could say that I bought my Lazy Boy at a Buc-ee's, I would brag about that. I would do that. It is so, yes, people, that's it, Pussycat. People want to go glamping, so they get their Lazy Boy camp chair. As long as it's fireproof, so none of the campfire embers will set it on fire, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And let's see here. Yeah, Mama Sean, yes, his crew took our backyard from literally dirt with a pool to what the pictures show. Yeah, exactly. So, of course he wants your property. That property for him is probably going to be the basis for his operations, his landscaping operations, and his calling card. His, beautiful example of what your yard, excuse me, I have the hookups, your yard could look like. And and Trail Dust. Indeed, soon we will find out if Lono has a song about Buc-ee's. He does not. No, instead, we're just going to listen to a song off of A Aloha A, aka Old Style 6. about Moana Lua, which is the ocean hole, which is an area in on Oahu, kind of near, well, basically kind of near Aiea, kind of near the base, right, Tripler base or whatever. Yeah, it's a song about that. And lo and behold, it is time for the Lono listening break. But hold on, Pussycat says, we have a lot of people who camp out at the Speedway. It's right next to the track. Oh, right, there you go. That's a perfect place for a Buc-ee's, actually. All right, so let's listen to some Lono. He's singing. It's a song that's not his, actually. It's a Jesse Kalama song, I think, or something like that. I don't remember whose song it is, but he did a version of it, and this is it. Boop.
Okay, here we go. Foxtrot, everybody. Foxtrot.
All right, there we go. Ooh, we've got some reverbs. Hold on one sec. Boop. There we go. All right. Hey, Mariana, good to see you. We're talking about Buc-ee's and how there's going to be a really big Buc-ee's in Florida, an even bigger one that's already there. We're talking about how Buc-ee's sells Lazy Boy furniture. What? That's so weird. But, And we're also talking about how Mama Sean is downsizing her home in Arizona to get to another tinier home, I'm assuming, in Arizona. And I'll tell you what, Mama Sean, downsizing is a beautiful thing, but I think you also probably know, it's a pain in the arse, right? I mean, all of the things that you've collected in your house for so many years that you wonder how and why and when did it even get put in that closet. If your house is anything like my mom's house was when I had to empty that out, I realized that my mom was the most impeccable storage 3D Tetris box master ever in the world, because our house was always clean. And with the amount of stuff what was in the closets, I swear she could have been a hoarder. She just knew how to hide her hoard really, really well. I mean, how she managed to fit 4 rooms worth of stuff into one closet, I just don't know. But oh my God, there was so much stuff in that house. You wouldn't know it to look at it. If you look at my house, you're just like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. Yeah, and guess what? It's all the stuff. If you see it, it's there. It's all the stuff. My mom's all the stuff was not all, you're walking the house. Oh, it's a wonderfully, beautifully kept house. Oh yes, it's dusted, it's vacuumed. Things are sparkling. There is not anything out of place. That's true. There's not anything out of place. Even if you open the closets, it looks neat. But the moment you start taking things out of the closet, suddenly you're like, well, how big is this closet anyway? And we've got 3 closets in every room. Oh my God. Yeah. And Pussycat, I should send you some pictures of my collection of Hot Wheels. Right, exactly. And there must be a lot of people on the internet on my building right now with that slowed down service. Too much buffering today. Mitchie Mama, honestly, I can't answer that question, but what I can tell you is last night, my internet kind of went down. I mean, I could get to places, but once I got there, it was just nope, can't do anything. That's right here, you're on Facebook, but we can't load that story. Oh no, don't click on that. Oh no, I'm just gonna sit here. And the Hulu, every place I went to last night, it didn't work. So I just turned my TV off and went to sleep. Well, turned the computer off, went to sleep. Got up this morning, same thing, dude. And honestly, I really thought we weren't going to have a stream today because my internet just wasn't working. So finally, I did the one thing that the tech people ask you to do. Well, did you turn your modem off and on? Well, yes, I eventually did, and solve the problem, but whatever. And see, Honda, did I have to clean up my mom's house? Yeah, it actually, by the way, it wasn't just my mom's house. It was a house I grew up in, my sister, myself, and my dad. So, but my dad, he the garage was his domain. So there's a lot of stuff in the garage, but meh, whatever. It was the house that was my dad, like me, all of his stuff was out in the open and there. You saw what there was that was there, right? My mom, her collections were all hidden in boxes, in closets and things. So you didn't really see just how much there was. And so when I say I had to clean up my mom's house, it was all of our houses, but it was my mom's stuff. That was just overwhelming. And Terry in Scotland coming in with some hot news from the UK. Found out that there's plans to demolish Edinburgh Castle and replace it with the buggies. Oh, that's funny. Let's see here. Hold on. What did I miss up here? Okay, so Mariana, you've driven past the Buc-ee's, but you've never felt the need to battle the crowds at a gas station. Fair enough, especially since you see them, you've got one in your neck of the woods, and if there's no need for you to stop at one, then I can totally see why just bypassing it but they're really known apparently for their super clean. Buc-ee's is known for their super clean bathrooms. And when you're on a road trip, knowing where super clean bathrooms are is never a bad thing. No matter how crowded it might have to be, I would really rather battle a crowd for a clean bathroom than wish I had found a clean bathroom. And Kenny from the Cove, if I'm ever on life support and I flatline, I want someone to unplug me and plug me back in, because maybe that'll fix it. And let's see here, Pussycat. I really get worried when we get hurricanes. Your collection is large and probably worth around 6 figures. Wow, yeah, that is pretty crazy, dude. I don't know. I don't know. Well, do you? I guess my question is, do you have it insured? It might be a good idea to get them appraised and insured. Of course, that costs money. But getting them insured might be an idea. Or building your cars a bunker. Exactly. Insurance riders on the storm. I understood. I got that, Rick. I got that. Alrighty, so no insurance. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're just freewheeling it. Yep, that doesn't surprise me at all. Okay, and I did get it, Rick. I did. I didn't do the song any justice, but I did get it. And let's see here. Yes, your router will continuously auto-negotiate the best speed possible, but the direction it goes is usually down. Don't know exactly what that means, but I think she's talking to Michi Mama and her sad state of internet affairs. And Michi Mama, I'm already sure that the answer is no, I cannot do that. But are you beholden to the same internet service provider that your entire building has, or can you seek your own internet service provider services? I have a feeling you're beholden to the building, but I am just curious. Because I know that it seems like when I'm looking at real estate in Hawaii, the condos, sometimes the homeowners association fee does include the internet. And so I'm assuming, that being said, you're kind of hardwired in and sort of forced, but I actually don't know. And hey, Elaine, good to see you. And let's see here. Kenny is coming in. I have gone into some roadside convenience store restrooms where even I thought I might have to hover. Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying, dude. And you're not a chick. And so, I do realize there are times when boys have to sit or squat like girls do. But yeah, there's just times when it's like, I don't want to stand on my tiptoes thinking it makes me cleaner because the bathroom is so dirty. You know what I'm talking about? It's like, I don't really know if y'all do this, but like, sometimes if the ground seems weird, like I sort of like walk on the side of my feet so my feet don't have to touch the ground. And I realize that even in if you've got shoes on, it doesn't really matter. Your feet aren't touching the ground. But when it's just that gross, I just do it kind of unconsciously. It's like I'm walking around barefoot in grossness and I want to barely touch it. Yeah, no. And let's see here. I can go with Hawaiian Telcom, Spectrum, or those other platforms. No can put a dish up though. I have Hawaiian Telcom. Got it. Oh, okay, so you do have a choice though. Okay, well that's kind of cool. I did wonder about that with the condos. And yes, Puzzy, I did hear that Janis Joplin hit Jim Morrison over the head with a whiskey bottle at a party. Not just once, but twice. Yes, that I have heard that. And though I don't know exactly how true that is, I've heard it enough that I like to think it's true. And I also happen to know that, well, I can hypothesize that Jim Morrison probably deserved it. Because let me tell you, dude, some dudes who get a little bit of, who even think they're just famous, who think that they're too good for God's green earth, They can be real, and oftentimes people are not willing to stand up to them. And I have on more than one occasion taken down a big dog who thought that he was a big dog, and it's just like, no, big dog, I might have to smack you across the face with my hand just to make you know that what you just did or said is not okay. No bueno. And so I'm not at all surprised that Janice was the type to stand up to a potential drunken bully and say, no can like that, bop. And I hope that that's kind of how it happened. And, right, okay, Darlene, I figured I couldn't be the only one. It's like, even though you're in shoes, you walk on tippy toes, not touching anything. Why? Your shoes are dirty, right? It doesn't make sense, but I still do it. I still do it. And, right, exactly, when your shoes stick, that's generally when I start walking on my tippy toes or the side of my feet. I know, the side of your feet, that makes no sense. I know. Do I do it? Yes, I do. And as a sales rep who traveled all the islands and where all the clean bathrooms were located, precisely. And so I'm telling you, dude, I am telling you, man, the Buc-ee's, if I have one, if I cross one on my path, I don't care if I just peed half an hour ago. I'm going to go pee again just to make sure. And Chuck, no, you were, Molly, I was first referencing my need to reboot my router and why that happens. I can't read anybody's text right now because it's dark and it's raining, but, and these people are out of their minds. And Kenny from the Cove, he is a facilities manager, aka old school janitor for a school. And I disinfect the soles of my shoes after almost every shift at work. Oh my God, people are disgusting. Yeah. And you know what else people are? People are stupid. People are so stupid, and I don't mean to be negative, but here, I have something that I'm going with this. People are stupid. And in Washington recently, over the past few months, there have been so many stupid people that we are actually considering passing a law called the Stupid Motorist Law. Oh yeah, for real. Because this has happened so often, I'm starting to be conspiracy minded and thinking this is actually an attack on our infrastructure. What am I talking about? This is what I'm talking about. Boop.
3 drivers responsible and millions of dollars in repairs. Now, a King County lawmaker says the drivers responsible should be on the hook. He's even pushing a new law to make it happen.
Our Jason Sloss is live now in Pacific. And Jason, this probably sounds good to the commuters who have had to deal with all the mess there.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be a surprise. Right here at the SR 167 bridge, you could see the damage here. This kind of damage, very costly, takes a long time to fix. And this proposal says drivers should be on the hook for it.
It's not like a regular accident. It's much more serious.
Time to go after drivers who cause costly damage to bridges and overpasses. That's what King County Council Vice Chair Reagan Dunn says, and why he's pushing for a so-called stupid motorist law.
Will make people think twice before they turn the keys to the ignition of a vehicle that's 15 or 16 feet tall.
Within just the past 2 months or so, 3 major bridge strikes. In August, a truck that hit the White River Bridge on SR 410 between Buckley and Enumclaw with around $4.5 million in repairs, according to WashDOT. The bridge has since reopened. Last month, a truck passing under the SR 167 bridge hit a girder and estimated $2.5 million in damages. And earlier this month, another truck with an oversized load hit the Bullfrog Road overpass near Cle Elum, where the overpass had to be demolished. Damage there around $8 million. In a statement, WashDOT tells us the emergency proclamations that Governor Ferguson issued on these 3 bridge strikes allows the state to seek federal reimbursement for the cost of repairs. Any funding received would be used for repairs not covered by the third party's insurance.
What we don't want is, well, I'm insured. It doesn't matter to me. If I clip something, well, that's the insurance company's problem. We can't think like that.
Dunn says his proposal aims to change liability law statewide.
And you crash into a public structure like a bridge or an overpass, you can't point the finger at anybody else. You're on the hook. You're strictly liable for it. and there'll be damages downstream as a result of it. You've got people that don't have their CDL, the commercial driver's license. So let me be clear, those companies, those corporations that are employing those individuals who aren't properly licensed, there should be additional liability as well.
He says this proposal is going into the county agenda, pushing for the governor to consider a state law, and he says there's been positive response so far. Live in Pacific, Jason Sloss, Cairo 7 News.
3 drivers responsible and millions of dollars in repairs. Now, a King County lawmaker says the drivers responsible.
Yeah, and the thing is it's not uncommon for tall trucks to hit low bridges. But for real, y'all, that happened this summer within within 6 weeks of each other. These 3 overpasses were hit. And they were major. I-90 is a major thoroughfare. I-166, excuse me, not I-167, just Highway 167, major thoroughfare. Highway 410, that's part of the reason why I remember that video from a long time ago that I was trying to do, which I didn't do very well. I had a whole vision of doing this loop-de-loop, but then I got sidetracked and I ended up in this really cool town called Wilkeson, which was an awesome sidetrack, but the reason why I had to do that was because Highway 410 was closed because someone had hit an overpass, and the bridge was closed, and that community basically really does depend on Highway 410 to get in and out of that area. If 410 was closed, then there's only one way in and out of that area as opposed to a big old loop-de-loop where you could do multiple entrances and exits. It was happening so fast, or so common. It was happening so often that it really did sort of seem like, is this some sort of conspiracy to literally, physically tear down our infrastructure from within? I mean, and I am not a paranoid conspiracy theorist type, but that even crossed my mind, and one of the overpasses literally has been demolished. It's one thing if it's a washout from all the rain, but it's another thing entirely when it's these trucks that are too tall, and these are not new overpasses, y'all. These are overpasses that have been there forever, and nobody seemed to hit them before now. But that news clip did mention something interesting, which I think is horrifying, and I think that the companies in charge should definitely be held liable. Apparently, they're flipping hiring people to drive commercial vehicles who don't have their CDL, their commercial driver's license. Well, that's a problem right there. We need to fix that. And maybe if that's the root of the idiots driving the 2 tall trucks through the 2 small overpasses, if that's the solution, if that's the root of the problem, then we need to make those companies pay. And let's see here. Mitchie Mama, I recently saw a new bridge going from the old Ward Warehouse shopping center to the ocean tour boats on the other side. My first thought was how many construction companies are going to have to figure out how to get large prefab concrete to Waikiki. Yeah, right. There you go. And can they build the bridges up 6 inches or so to avoid most scrapes when the dope who drives with the bed up really has to pay up? I can only well, first off, Elaine, these are, every bridge has a different height, and the bridges that are already made, I don't think structurally it's feasible necessarily to raise it 6 inches. I don't know. My best guess is they're probably going to if they can. And the one overpass that had to be demolished, well, that one I guess can be redesigned to be higher up off of the freeway. But it's still very odd that all of a sudden we had all of these things just boom, 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 boom. It just is. I mean, occasional kerfuffles and infrastructure collisions happen. But with so many of them all at one time, it was inconvenient and weird. And let's see here, Trailless. I've had to take a different bridge to work when a truck full of hay bales jammed in our lift bridge. Right, there you go. and or lower the road a bit. Lowering the roads create a whole other issue where it comes to water flow and flooding risks and water pooling and drainage in general. So I don't know how. I would think raising the overpass would be a better solution than lowering the road. And let's see here. So it sounds like there's stupid drivers everywhere. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, Pussycat, your story is the dumbest one, because it's one thing if you've got like a cargo load that's a little bit too high, or if you thought that the trailer you were, hauling was actually 14 feet 9 inches, but it actually was like 15 feet 2 inches. Like, I can see that. But the dump truck had his bed in the air and hit the bridge. What? 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 Who the flying fork drives a dump truck with their bed in the air? I mean, I know I said it before, but I'm going to have to say it again. What? Terry in Scotland, I came out of Wishaw General once, and 2 trucks with police escort tried to get a couple of these huge electrical things past the pedestrian crosswalk with lights and barriers on each side. They had to back up and turn around. It was a mess. Well, at least they didn't tear it down. And let's see here. I've had to, oh no, got that. You're lucky they rebuilt that freeway. In Milwaukee, they are deciding to remove a downtown freeway to put in a really wide street level boulevard. Too bad for us because we use that road a lot. Oh, we've had that through. We have that problem. We had that problem in Seattle, actually. And you're right, Pussycat. Most of the bridges in the country are outdated, and so perhaps I should look at this as a blessing in disguise, in the sense that they're going to get repaired, hopefully to greater standards than they were when they were built, 50, 60 years ago. But when every week it seemed like, oh, another bridge was hit. I mean, because by the time the third one happened, I really honestly thought like, oh, I already heard that story. I already knew that. And then it was like, oh no, wait, that's a different bridge entirely. And let's see here. And it happened here, says Mitchie Mama. Dump truck had its thing up, and when it hit the overpass, a driver got killed back in the 70s or 80s. Y'all, I mean, look, I woke up one morning and took some things out of the back of my Subaru, and the hatch was up. Then I got in my car and I drove 2 blocks to my coffee place, and I realized in that amount of time, just looking in my rearview mirror, something is not right. What the is going on? Why doesn't this look right? And then when I got to my coffee place, I turned around and looked and was like, oh my God, my hatchback is open. So I went and closed my hatchback. A hatchback is a glass piece of glass. And I noticed that glass wasn't there. A truck, on the other hand, how do you not notice that you have your dump up? Your truck dump up. How do you not notice that? I can't. And exactly, what is an accident twice? What's an accident twice a coincidence and 3 times its enemy action? That's kind of where I was at, actually. Shock. And like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but after 3 of it happened, boom, 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 I had to wonder, is something bigger happening here? And Kenny from the Cove, if you take a CDL test in Texas, one question on the test is, what is the maximum trailer height for semi-trucks in Texas? The answer is 13.6. If you hit a bridge with your trailer based on or raised dump bed, you should have your CDL permanently revoked. I am going to give a little bit of elbow room in regards to circumstance, but the raised dump truck bed, that is never an if and or but. If you got that thing up, you dumb. You did something wrong. You were not paying attention. Were you stoned, buddy? You better go piss in this cup right now. And that's just how that works. And yeah, the truck was wedged under the bridge. It had to hurt, I bet. And Darlene, not sure if it's inexperienced drivers or just drivers that don't give a care. Who cares? Let the insurance cover it. Like that guy said, but they don't realize the costly damage and the amount of work to get that fixed and budget constraints too. Yeah, but also though, what it sounded like from what the King County Council member was saying is some of these companies are hiring people without the CDL, which means the people who are driving these trucks haven't been vetted to even prove that they know these laws or the height requirements or maximums or minimums, and that is, to me, the real problem. Because, because if you do have a CDL and you drive and you get your thing all messed up, you're probably going to get fired. Even if the insurance company takes care of the bill, you're still going to get fired. There still is a consequence, right? But if you don't even have a CDL, I mean, it's just like you were already lucky to get that job to begin with. So who cares, I guess, if you get fired because you weren't even qualified to begin with. And Trail Dust, there's a YouTube channel that shows an 11-foot 4-inch bridge constantly being hit, cameras from 3 angles. I've seen that, absolutely. And so it's like, so when it comes to those really low bridges or whatever, it's like, I can cut a little slack, but even on the low bridge, if your dump truck is up, no can. And remember, all these road problems were designed by transportation engineers, the same kind that will be fixing the roads today. True, but in their defense, trucks, cars, RVs, buses, 40, 50, 60 years ago weren't necessarily the size they are now. So they didn't necessarily get designed with the size of vehicles that we've got now. And, we do have a lot of, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Aloha Friday, good to see you. We do have a lot of very large RVs that I don't know if you need a CDL to drive them, but it seems like you can go buy one and just have one off the lot. If you've got enough money, you can drive one off the lot, CDL or not. I don't think that the dealership really gives a flying fork if you got yourself a CDL or not. You just paid them $250,000 for that mansion on wheels, and they're happy to take your money. So we've got literal civilians driving big rigs these days. And dump truck bed covers not being used drives Darlene crazy when we're on the road. I totally agree. That's how nicks and dings in your windshield wipers in your windshield gets happening. Insurance companies are on that, because I remember I got a ding in my windshield that caused it to crack like almost right away. And the first question out of their mouth when I called my insurance company to get the windshield replaced was, were you behind, a commercial vehicle? Yes, which was true. Do you remember what company it was? And I was like, well, I actually do happen to. And they're like, thank you. So they obviously went after the commercial vehicle company, their insurance company as well. So, you've got to always wear those dump trucks always need to have the covers. And exactly, Elaine, you also got to adjust for tire pressure. It can add inches. Precisely, which is why it's on some of the stuff I can kind of give some elbow room for error in judgment, error with ignorance type thing. But the dump truck being up? Oh no, Ken. There's no forgiving that. And Rick, didn't you used to be one of them there road engineers? And another good point, Mama Sean, and they're trailering vehicles behind those RVs. Yeah, and I do actually have to wonder, Kenny from the Cove, when you have a Greyhound-sized bus RV, you should have to have a CDL, just my opinion. That was actually my question I was just about to ask. Do you have to have a CDL? Because to me, it seems like you should, but I'm getting the real impression that you don't have to. And, Mr. and Mrs. Aloha, I don't believe CDL for big class A or C. Yeah, I remember talking to one of my clients about what's required, and I was really surprised at what is and what isn't required. I can't remember the details, but for big class A or C, I don't know what exactly that means, but Puzzy, we had a semi-truck that did a U-turn on the interstate and cars to crash that killed a couple people. The driver was an illegal alien. Right. Well, see, there you go, though. Illegal alien or not, clearly not a CDL license holder, which at this moment is all that really matters. Doesn't matter if he's an illegal alien. It doesn't matter if he's John Smith from I don't know, Black Hills, South Dakota. If you don't got a CDL, you shouldn't have been hired. And the company that hired him should have been held accountable big time. In fact, actually, to me, any company that hires illegal aliens needs to be held more accountable than the illegal alien who took a job. Because the reason why we got our illegal aliens is because people up here hiring them. So why aren't we going after the people that are hiring them? They're the ones that are asking people to cross the border illegally. Oh no, Rick, nope, not road work. I was a tech in water treatment in Milwaukee. Only 19 people died in the cryptosporidium thing in the 1990s. Only 19 people? Is this a... You gonna put that on your resume, Rick? No, for real, actually, I'm not... Like, for real, 19 people died? Oh, wow, dude, that's a big deal, dude. I hope that... Wow, that's a big deal. Hey, Devil's Like Food, you're here but have had nothing to say, so just saying hello. Hello! And at Terry in Scotland and Australia, most of the trucks have sturdy screens halfway up their windshields to protect stones jumping up from all their dirt roads. Oh, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. And, okay, so Mama Sean saw an RV sideswipe a really expensive little convertible, and they had no clue when they were turning that they slid down the side of, that they slid down the side of the convertible. Right, exactly, yeah. And then, shock, does a dump truck even have a rearview mirror, given that there's a dump box behind it? Good point. That being said, they have side view mirrors that are going back, and I find it very hard to believe that their side view mirrors, looking backwards and sort of sideways, wouldn't have noticed that something's different. Things would look different, even in the side view mirrors, right? And then again, right, Elaine, isn't there a warning signal for the bed being up while it's rolling? I don't know, but you would think. And Mitchie Mama, oh my God, my coworker's husband was killed by a rock that flew off a dump truck filled with rocks. The rock hit him direct and missed the baby in the car seat. That was so sad. Oh my goodness. Yep. Totally. And it was probably more from long-term infections. Oh, wow, Rick. So what was it that caused the cryptosporidium? I don't know what cryptosporidium is. I mean, it doesn't sound good. And I'm guessing it's waterborne. Given you said it was, but what is cryptosporidium? And let's see here. When I lived down by the border, there were two things I feared in traffic: poorly maintained Mexican big rigs and aging snowbirds driving RMS Titanic-sized RVs. Precisely. And here's where I'm going to be completely prejudiced, bigoted, ageist, but I find it very hard to believe that all these snow white-haired people driving the huge RVs all have their CDL. That's why I wonder whether or not it's even required. When you've got these huge tour bus homes, do you need a CDL required? Because the people I see driving them aren't my stereotypical CDL license holding people. Yes, what I just said is completely prejudiced, absolutely ageist, but am I in the wrong for wondering about that? I don't know. And Mitchie Mama coming in, it's one of the many pathogens that can harm humans. Rick says it's a waterborne oocyst that bypassed the water treatment facilities because they were saving money on the filter medium. Of course they were. Were you taking notes from Flint? Did Flint send you a memo on how to save money on water costs? Didn't you get that retraction memo? Flint said, "Oh no, don't do that." Oh, this was way before Flint. Oh, so you gave Flint, you're the one who gave Flint that memo. And Mitchie Mama, aren't airline pilots required to retire after a certain age? I have no idea, but I would not at all be surprised. Not one little bit. But yeah, I don't actually know. Too bad Poppy Shaney's not here, because Poppy Shaney would be the one who would be able to tell us that. And let's see here. You don't need a CDL for the RV. It's not commercial vehicle. Right. See, in commercial driver's license, of course. But I think the same thing, they should have to test for the RVs too. Okay, Mama Sean coming in with obvious facts from the Department of Redundancy Department. It's a commercial driver's license. Why the flying fork on earth would you need a commercial driver's license for a private RV? Right, I get it. Yeah, okay. Duh, of course. Mama Sean, thank you. I mean, now that the dots have been connected, right, of course. So it's safe to assume that the majority of folks don't have a CDL. Because they don't need one. Even though, they probably need one. And a piece of rebar came off the truck and went through the windshield of the car and struck the driver behind on I-4. Oh, no, that sounds terrifying. And yeah, exactly. Someone has to save money for the cause. And you have a CDL. It's a chauffeur's license. Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, dude, those stupid limousines that are all stretched out and stuff, you probably do need a CDL for that. And Darlene coming in to save her husband's good name. Rick was in the drafting architectural drawing of things there, not actually working in the actual sewerage part of it. Don't besmirch my honey's good name with the water catastrophe of the 1990s. No, I had a feeling that Rick had nothing directly to do with it. But how horrifying to be in part of a department that has to deal with that, you know? And yeah, trail dust, absolutely. Can I put this on trail dust? I think you might have come up with a new t-shirt. I'm pretty good at picking up on the obvious once it's pointed out to me. Yes, precisely. That's exactly it. And Rick, multi-talented. This is something he definitely should put on his resume. I can also draw a good glass of beer. Yes, indeed. That is it. All right, so we have got 2 minutes to go till it is the bottom of the hour, so I guess we should start winding things up. I want to thank everybody for your long streaks of viewing. I want to thank everybody for hanging out today and chitter-chattering. And I want to thank the biddies donators and the subscription donators, etc. Super stoked we can hang out today. And super stoked that my what's it called? My router, my modem, my thingamabop is actually working so we can hang out today. Super stoked we had Puzzycat in the house today. I know he was just like, don't pay attention to me, I'm just here listening. But then he was just like, which we always love. And you're going to make the cabbage soup tonight. Awesome, Mitchie Mama. That is actually on my plan for later this week. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, on my Facebook, I posted a cabbage sausage. It's a Russian soup of cabbage and sausage. What? A Russian soup that contains cabbage and sausage? Who would have thunk it? It looks like a soup that I usually make, but what I've never done, Michi Mama, and for those of you who are listening, this soup calls for you to grill, or not grill, but like fry and char the chunks of cabbage to give them a little blackened charness on each of the sides before you make the soup. And I've never done that before, so I'm very excited to see what that does to the flavor. Yes, so let's see here. I don't see my own car in the side view mirrors because it's for the lanes beside me. Whoa. Yeah, but they've got a lot of mirrors. I still stand by... You might be right, Shock, but I still stand by they should have known that their truck was up. Guy... You would think that the truck would handle differently, actually. But, but whatever. All I know is a lot of those big vehicles have more than one mirror on the side, so they get more than one view. They get views in the back, because you got to see what's in the back. You have to be able to see what's in the back, as well as to the sides. So, anyway, that's a hill I will die on. Probably because a dump truck will pour some more dumping grounds on me because I'm on the hill that they're dumping things on. And let's see here. All right, you guys. So we're a minute past, which means I should have shut up a minute ago. Hopefully we'll see each other on Wednesday. What we will talk about, I have no idea. I don't think we'll see each other on Tuesday because it sounds like Andy Bumatai is maybe not going to have a show that day because he's busy doing other stuff. If he does have a show on Tuesday, then we will see each other. But don't hold your breath. And there we go. Kylo, I'm booping your snoot. Nighty-night, little boy. And everybody else, no boop snoots for you. Just see you later. Have a good one.